I'm your host, Craig Lindell, and today I'm live and in person with Mike Hattery.
Hello.
I'm the mic, sir. I'm the mic.
Oh, I'm sorry. Very distant.
And Josh Paloha for the first time in live. I mean, we've met before, but you've never been on the podcast before.
Never, ever.
So, I hope you've been enjoying the podcast this week. I talked to Andrew for quite a while, and we split it into 3 topics, and I think we're going to go topical once again. And of all things, when you got Mike Hattery in the building, there's nothing that makes any more sense than talking Browns.
I have all the Browns takes. They're all bad. They're all bad takes.
It's actually going to work out pretty well because you seem like you want to treat it like a newbie and ask a bunch of questions.
I do. I'm really excited about this Browns team. I need to be talked out of Deshaun Kaiser optimism already because I just see a guy who has much better command of the pocket. All the press you hear about him. This isn't like when Whedon was in camp. I mean, why shouldn't I be more excited about Kaiser than any guy we've had in the building in the last 5 years?
All right, so is there a specific question? Where do you want to start?
I want to start with, is Kaiser the best looking spec we've had since Brady Quinn?
Yes. So he's the prototype. He's the prototype quarterback size. He's got the arm. He's got some athleticism. He's got the pedigree. The only thing he doesn't have is probably the track record in his final year in college and the hype. And so I think a lot of people should probably temper some of their enthusiasm, but a lot of it depends on the coaches. I'm really more interested to see. I think it's almost as much a test of Hugh Jackson as it is Deshaun Kaiser.
I think they're trying to temper the enthusiasm as well.
You think they're trying to, or you think fans should?
I think the coaches are trying to, which is why he's not starting on Monday night. I think if it was anything else, because if he started Monday night, fans would be like, "Oh man, this is the next Tom Brady."
Although Tom Brady didn't start, like Drew Bledsoe had to get his shoulder popped out before he got his chance.
Brock Osweiler, looks like your shoulder's getting popped out soon.
So I guess my next question is, if we're really optimistic, what is it that we want to see in him in year one that makes us not think about a quarterback with a top 5 pick next year?
So when I'm thinking about what I want to see from Deshaun Kaiser this year, I think of guys like Russell Wilson and Ben Roethlisberger in their rookie seasons. Not because they play anything like I think he can play, but I think that their coaching staffs and their teams brought them along in a really limited playbook in such a way that it was achievable and manageable. Like Ben Roethlisberger spent his entire first season handing the ball off to Jerome Bettis, and really playing like a rookie. And then, Russell Wilson, they really catered the pro offense to his college style so that he could achieve early on without, being overwhelmed by an NFL playbook. So that's kind of what I'm thinking.
Okay.
I know a franchise quarterback's supposed to win from the start, but the last thing the Browns can do, or the fans can do, is judge Deshaun Kaiser by how many wins the Browns get. Max, they're probably going to get 5 wins at the very, very, very max. So
Yeah, my over-under is like 3.
yeah, I'm thinking 3 too. 3 and 13, here we come.
I'll bet the over. Take the over. Let's go.
Well, I would never bet the under, but I'd place the over-under at 3, and then I'd hope for the 4th win.
If they win 4, that'll be impressive. I'll be impressed, depending on who the wins are against. Now, if they win,
Whoa! What do you mean depending on who the wins are against?
If
The
one of the
Cleveland
wins,
Browns, it doesn't matter who they win.
if they lose the Jets, that's embarrassing.
What
The
if
Jets
they-
are trying to lose.
What if they lose to the Jets, but they beat the Steelers once and the Ravens once?
If they beat the Steelers week 1, Cleveland might burn down.
Not week 1. I'm just saying for the entire season. I'll take a Jets loss if they get 2 wins in the division, 1 against the Steelers, 1 against the Ravens. I would easily
I'll take
trade
that.
that.
And you have to win. Cincinnati's struggling to.
See,
you have to beat
I've spent a
Cincinnati
lot
in
more
those
time
wins.
thinking about these conditional scenarios with the Browns
You
than
have
anybody.
to. As a Browns fan, you have to. But the Jets are literally trying to go 0-16. You cannot lose to the New York Jets.
We'll see. We'll see. So I guess the next question I would have is, how excited are you about the defense? And this defensive line is so much better. Is there anyone not named Myles Garrett that you think will break out because of Myles Garrett?
I'm going to let Josh go first. No, you don't want to go first?
No, it's all you.
All right. It's obviously Jabril Peppers. We're talking about a guy who he's a little bit of a tweener, a little bit of a confusing piece to work with. But the idea of having Greg Williams as the defensive coordinator and having, Jamie Collins and Kirksey and some actual bona fide, like, veteran type guys, that's what we always wanted from DeQuell Jackson. Solidify and be there so that guys with some star pedigree can step in and make some giant plays. And so I kind of feel like Myles Garrett and Peppers have the ability to potentially be those guys. I'm not guaranteeing it, but I mean, Peppers' athleticism is there.
If Joe Hayden stays healthy, I think he can, not elite like he's talking, but I think he can be one of the best, not one of the top 10 cornerback in the league. And it's because of guys like Myles Garrett. If Myles Garrett gets the quarterback, he's going to make the secondary look so much better.
See, that's interesting. When you say that, I guess I would also say, Brian Bobby Calhoun could probably take another step. I don't remember what round he was taken in, but it wasn't early. And he's really kind of turned into a starter. And the Browns actually do have a track record of finding guys like that, especially at corner and in the secondary. And so I think he could be another guy that takes a big step forward.
I want to get back to Jabril Peppers. I guess as a baseball fan, and I talk about Jose Ramirez a lot, but the utility value that he offers in terms of your ability to hide other flaws in your defense, hide other flaws on the field is really awesome. And I'm sort of surprised by how critical teams have been of him being sort of a Swiss Army knife, and analysts at least. This seems like a guy in the modern offensive era in the NFL that seems like the perfect asset. How can Greg Williams deploy him best?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know how we can deploy him best, but I think there's a lot of laziness in the NFL when it comes to, hey, I got my system and I'm going to run my system and I need the pieces to fit my system. That's why we've seen so much roster turnover whenever the Browns have coaching turnover, and I think it's a real sign of laziness in the league. And if there's anything that you're hoping for with Greg Williams under Sashi Brown and Paul DePodesta and that crew, would be looking for those kind of inefficiencies in the draft. And for Jabril Peppers to have the college career that he had, to be able to return kicks and be a gadget on offense and also play on defense, and then everyone's like, I don't know, top 10, I wouldn't know what to do with him. And so he slips all the way down to 25. I'm hoping that as a Browns fan, you have to hope it's proof that they're finally going to take advantage of like a market inefficiency.
Yeah, I'm with that.
But you hate Jabril, right?
Yeah, go Bucks.
You just hate him.
Yeah.
I mean,
he's the worst.
If Malik could stay on the field, it'd be a conversation.
Everybody hated Brendan Edwards only because he went to Michigan, not because he dropped balls.
Yeah, he dropped passes.
Wait, yeah. No, it was just Michigan.
Besides not being able to beat Ohio State, I love Jabril Peppers. Well, actually, I love him before that too, I guess. But his versatility, and if Greg Williams wants to switch up the defense and move Peppers to linebacker, it's going to make it so much easier than having to sub him out every other play. But yeah, like you said, not fitting into the system it seems like it's not an excuse anymore, which is awesome.
Yeah, but don't you think the NFL's been kind of like that lazy, intellectually lazy coaching, and it's almost like if I turn over the whole roster because it doesn't fit my system, that almost like buys you extra time as an incoming coach or an incoming executive.
Remember when Joey Bosa didn't fit into the Brown system?
Well, I don't think anybody ever said that into a microphone on the record, but yeah, we did hear that. We did hear that.
So I guess the last question that I would have about this defense is, how good can this defense be by week 9? We have a really young roster, but it's been infused with Garrett, who solidifies, and we've had a lot of young draft picks recently on that line. How good can it be?
Well, that's the number one thing. I don't know how good it can be, but that's the number one thing that I want to see from this defense over the course of the year.